started. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone. Start with Elder Pastor Tahar on down. I also like to give double honor to the head and the elder and the man of Israel camp, the Chazat, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give another shout out to you sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. And another shout out to you Israelite foreigners that's looking like the other heathen nations causing confusion, coming back to our heritage in these last days. Alright, to y'all, like to say shalom. Alright, now coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashiach Washah with another exhortation video. Alright, and it's gonna be an in-transit video. Alright, I just got off the plantation on the way to the house now. But pretty much I wanted to do a quick lesson, basically going into how Esau is gonna try to make war, with the saints. Alright, he's gonna make war with the children of Israel, man. Alright, and that was, this is an ongoing war, going back to the book of Genesis, man. Alright, with Esau and Jacob. Alright, there always been controversy between the two, man. Alright, because when we was delivered out of our foremother, alright, Rebecca, it said the two should be separate, roughly paraphrasing, man. Alright, meaning we was even fighting in the womb, man. Alright, we was even fighting inside the womb, and when we came out, we never really got along, man, because we two separate nations. Alright, so when you read the book of Genesis, I'm not going to get it, but when you read the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, she had Rebecca had to inquire of a prophet to see, if this a blessing, why they fighting inside my womb? Why is all this going on? And the Lord told her, the Lord had the prophet say, two nations are in that womb, two manner of people, man. All right. So like I said, man, this is an ongoing war that's been going on, since the womb. All right. So I'm gonna get the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter, to get context of why, this war is still going on between the two nations. The Israelites and, the Edomites, which the Edomites today are the so-called white people, and the Israelites today are the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. All right, so let's read Genesis 27, starting at verse 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob. Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then would I slay my brother Jacob. You see, so, Isaac, our forefather Isaac was about to get ready, to pass away. So Esau said, hey, my father's about to pass away. I'm gonna, I'll slay my brother Jacob. He said he wasn't gonna do it while his father was alive, because he already knew. You see, that's why he waited till his father died, to try to pursue that, man, and still lives to this day. That's why you see why the so-called white people treat the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians like the way they do, because back then they mad that the blessing, they try to say we stole the blessing, which Esau sold the blessing, man. So you got nobody but to blame your goddamn self at the end of the day, So that's why he's trying to, kill off your Israelites and make war with y'all, man, because of the blessing. You see, because niggas today, they'll be like, they hate us because we're black. No, it's not that. Because the so-called Africans, the Hamites, they black. The so-called East Indians, they pretty much dark-skinned people. You got Canaan. Well, the Hamites is Canaanite, but everybody, ain't necessarily that's black is other nation of Israel, man. No, you got other nations that's so-called dark-skinned, but not an Israelite, man. You see, so it's not because of our skin color; it's because of the spirit that lies in us, who we are as a people. They know that. You see, especially these rich elites, these small hats, they know who we are, but we don't know who we are. But like it says in the scriptures, man, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. what blessings will be given? The kingdom. You can read Romans the 9th chapter. It tells you, man. The covenants, the giving of the law. The service of the Heavenly Father. We was given all that. Eternal life. We was promised all that, man. And they mad at the fact that they don't have it. You see, these devils want everything. They don't want nobody to have nothing. That they can't have it. So that's why they hate us, and that's why, they've been making war with us and continually trying to slaughter us. And it's going to get even worse, man, especially, during the times of Jacob's trouble, man. They're going to continue to come out of us, man, because they understand that, the times is not where Yahweh Shai is about to return. So, they hasten, they speedily trying to, kill out the prophets, man. Kill out the nation of Israel. So let's get Revelation chapter 12, and we're gonna start at verse 12, but we're gonna drop down to verse 17, because another point in that verse in this chapter as well, man. But Revelation 12 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil," now that word devil right there is diabolos, in the Greek, which means deceiver. All right, it's not talking about actual devil underground with a pitchfork and two horns with a red tail. No, this devil is a man on earth. It's a physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, man. You see? So it says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down into you, having great wrath." You see, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. His time is getting ready to come to an end. So he's about to come and make war with the children of Israel, because his time is running out. His whole goal is really to kill out the prophets. Why? Because the prophets are exposing him, man. So he's really, trying to make war with the prophets, man. He's not really concerned with these low-level Israelites, man. That's not on their watch. That's not, caring about the sheep. He's worrying about the man, all right, that's exposing him, man. Which are the man that's out there in the highways and byways, the corners, man. The street, doing the street teachers, man, with the garments. And he really ain't even, afraid of you other Israelite camps like GOCC and IHUBK and, Genesis. He ain't really concerned with y'all. He's concerned with the man that's teaching the correct doctrine, starting with, Great Millstone, Elder Pastor on down. And the light wise man that's teaching the same doctrine. That's who he concerned with. That's why I'm gonna drop down to verse 17, because like it said in verse 12, he's about to come down with great wrath, man. He's not about to play. He's not about to play around no more, man. He done did enough of that. That's why he's trying to get this. That's why he's trying to come against have people come against the prophets to overthrow this truth. But the Heavenly Father said, "What? You can do nothing against the truth, but be for it." That's what the scripture says. So no matter how hard you try to stop this ministry, it's not going to happen, Esau. It's not. It's not going to happen. The Lord's words must be, the Lord's word must come to pass. It must. So verse 17, Revelation 12 and verse 17, it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. Now who is the dragon? The dragon represents Esau, Edom. All right. Rome 2.0, right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It says the dragon was wroth. That word wroth pretty much goes into the word anger, pretty much pissed off, mad. And I gave you the reason why, this devil is mad, because we're exposing him, number one. And not only that, him seeing that is a sign of his kingdom going to shit, going down. Matter of fact, the apostles, elder apostles Kabal always, mention it from time to time, how, they was on the street corners teaching, and you had this, if I'm not mistaken, a limousine, all tinted windows black, and they got out and looked at the signs, and looked at them. It was like, how the hell did y'all know this? How y'all know this? How the hell did y'all find this out? He said, we spent billions trying to cover this up. You know? So he knows that's a sign of his kingdom coming to an end when he see that. When he see the prophets, you know, standing on their feet, man. That's a sign of his kingdom coming to an end. You know? So let's continue reading. Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. Now, who is the woman here? The woman here is the nation of Israel. Alright? Alright, the Lord, you know, likens us as a woman. So that woman here is the nation of Israel. Alright? So the dragon was wroth with the woman, which is the Israelites. More so starting with the elect of the nation of Israel, man. It said the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war. You see? Went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimonies of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You see? Like I said, starting with the elect, because the ones who's keeping the commandments to the best of their ability is the elect. You know? Not just the commandments where it say not to do this and do that, but also doing what he say do. You know? Keeping the whole book to the best of their ability, man. You know? It says to make war with the remnant. So hey man, we about to come into a time, you know, where these devils is about to come and make war, you know, with us, man. So we need to, you know, get prepared, man. Do what we need to do to get prepared, man, when this man come down. Lord willing, you know, Yahweh Shah be with us, man. You know, we want the Lord to be there for us, you know, during these times, man, because we're coming to some times where we're going to need, you know, Yahweh Shah and the angels to protect us, man. That's how bad it's going to be. You know, the Lord going to have to give certain brothers, you know, spiritual power, man. Because the technology and the equipment that this man has, it's too advanced for us, man. So we're going to need the Lord, you know, technology, man. The Lord going to have to put, you know, some powers into us, man. Lord willing, you know, we'll be those men. You know? So it says to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimonies of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So now let's go over to the book of Revelations, matter of fact, yeah, Revelations chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was Salah. Let me read that again. Salah. And there went out another horse that was red. And that red symbolizes Esau Edom, by the way. Just to, you know, put that out there. Alright, it's not actually talking about an actual horse, man. No, you gotta understand, this book, some things are literal, some things are parabolic, man. You know, you can't take everything in this book literal, man, because if you do, you're gonna get bugged the fuck out. Like when it says, you know, the beast having 7 heads and, you know, 7 heads, roughly paraphrase, 7 heads and, you know, 10 horns. You know, that's not actually talking about, you know, a beast, you know, a dragon coming out looking like that. No, that's symbolic, talking about nations, man. You know, so that red horse, like I said, represents a people, which that people is who? Esau Edom, man, the so-called white man. And then went out another horse that was red, and power was given into him. You see? So that's how we know that's talking about a person, because you wouldn't say a horse is a him. I mean, yes, it is, and technically, you know, it's a boy, so it's a man, a male, you know. But when you saying him, you meaning somebody. You talking to a human being. Like when you say he did it, them over there, or, you know, him, where you pointing at somebody, you be like him. He did it. Him. That person over there. That's what you mean. It said, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon. So how can this be talking about a actual horse when it said he sat thereon? How another horse gonna sit on another horse? You know? It said power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. and that they should kill one another. And they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So the Lord gave this man power to do this, man. You know, he gave this man power over the earth, you know, to kill one another. They even gonna be killing their own people, man. Because it's basically gonna be another civil war. Not only is they gonna come after the children of Israel, they're gonna come after their own people, man. They're gonna attack their own people, man. That should tell you something right there, man. If you coming after your own people, just imagine what they're gonna do to the Israelites, man. You know, because you're gonna have some of their own people rebelling against them, man. They already kind of are. Democrats and Republicans. You see, that's just part of it. So it's gonna get worse, man. It's gonna get worse, especially for you Israelites, but all around, it's just gonna get bad, man. And we gotta stay prayed up, man, more than ever. You know, that's something Elder Apostle Rachel was pushes prayer. You know, we're gonna have to pray even more in these last days. So the Lord said, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat down to take peace from the earth. This man is about to get ready to take peace off the earth, man. It ain't gonna be, you got Israelites that's thinking they got peace here on earth. There's no such thing as peace on this earth, man. There's wickedness on this earth. There's oppression in this earth. There's no peace. How is there peace on earth when you gotta work every day and deal with bullshit every day, man? Bills and, you know, shit like that, man. How is that peace? True peace is gonna come in the kingdom, man. All right, which, you know, me and the brother, you know, you know, we just did a lesson on that, man. We need a new kingdom. Because we oppressed, you know. We got to go through shit on this side, man. You know, some more than others. You know. So now let's go over to the book of, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. All right. It's like it. Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. And it says, so should they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy, who is the enemy? The primary enemy is Esau, Edom, right? You also have other nations that are enemies to the Lord's people, right? But the main enemy is Esau, Edom. That's our primary enemy, man. It's Esau, Edom. It says, so should they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy should come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh should lift up a standard against them. You see? So this man is going to come in like a flood, man. Like an actual, not you know, basis, you know, comparing it, you know, because when a flood comes in, it don't stop. It's continually coming. This man is about to send army troops like a flood. There's going to be so many of them. They're going to have highways blocked off, you know, back streets blocked off. You're going to know in that day that you are in Jacob's trouble, man. Because this man is going to be all in Jake neighborhoods, you know, search dogs, drones, you know, helicopters. You know, this man even going to have, you know, technology where, you know, what you call it, the goggles, you know, night vision goggles, you know, heat senses. This man gonna have everything to find the elect or any Israelite, period. This man gonna try to do anything to find the elect, really. You know? So this man is gonna come in like a flood. Hey. When a flood come in, it covers everything, man. Cover houses, trees, just straight water. It covers everything, man. Look at this. You see? So that's how, pretty much, that's how this man is going to come in with his military troop. And not only, you know, the UN troops, they're going to come. You see? So it's going to be a very, 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 very horrific day. And I pray, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratzah, I overcome it, man. Lord willing. The same with you, Akim. Lord willing, I endure it. Because it's gonna be, hey, it's gonna feel like we ain't gonna make it, but hey, Lord willing, the Lord put the Spirit on us to, get through this. Because this man is really about to make war with the children of Israel. And the Lord gonna put the Spirit on him to really show you niggas why he's the devil, man. Because a lot of y'all don't seem to get that this man is really truly the devil that the Bible speaks of. We telling y'all that this man is the devil, but y'all don't believe us. Y'all say, how he the devil? How he the devil? Okay, we'll see in that day. We'll see in that day. I get this. This is the book of Isaiah 19:2, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Now, the Egyptians right here ain't talking about the ancient Egyptians, talking about modern day Egyptians, which are not the Israelites, but the Edomites. They are the modern day Egyptians, man. Right? It said, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Like I was saying, it's going to be another civil war. You ain't going to only have just Israelites, fighting. You're also going to have, Edomites and Edomites going at it. Edomites and Israelites going at it. Moabites and, Ammonites going at it. Vice versa, all around. It's just going to be all-out civil war. It said, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. You see? This man going to be, the Lord said, hey, it to be divided, roughly paraphrasing. How can this kingdom stand? This man kingdom ain't going to be able to stand too much longer, man. Especially when he's going to, how you going to attack? Your main threat is really the Israelites. Why are you coming at your own people? That show you the Lord is coming for division, man. Even within their nation. Not just our nation, but their nation as well. But that's prophecy. Matter of fact, Matthew 24, and we're going to start at verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. You see that? The Lord said there should be earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, it's a lot. That's not the point. The point is, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. That's the point I meant. It's a lot. I was about to do a whole breakdown. But yeah, like I said, for nation shall rise against nation. You're gonna have different nations or the same nations, rising up against each other, and kingdom against kingdom. The same kingdom going against. This kingdom is divided. America is divided, man. It's been divided. And the Lord is about to divide it even more. So we're about to come into some times where we're about to go to war with Esau, and Esau about to go to war with his own nation and the Israelites, man. Whoever is not standing with this man, hey, he's coming against, man. Now, he's not only going to make war with us, but the main focus is us, man. Because he understands we got the truth. The reason he killing them off because they in the way. They may trying to stop him. They, these peon, Edomites probably trying to stop him from, pushing his agenda. So he got no choice but to knock them out the way, man. You see? Anybody who's coming against him, he's going to mow your ass down. So Lord willing, this video was edifying, man. I'm going to close with giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Dub honor to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. Start with Elder Pastor Tahar. Dub honor to the head and the elder of the man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under. All right, and shalom to you, Sister Akim. Shalom.